The usual connotation with words like creativity and imagination, right, is a kind of psychological one. We think of human creativity, the creativity of a genius, whether an artist or a scientist. But what I'm trying to suggest here is that creativity is truly cosmic, right? And that human creativity, human imagination are expressions of something far more ancient and far deeper than just the human being. We are expressions of it. And creative artists know this, right? Sometimes, whether we're experiencing writer's block or we're staring at the blank canvas, you kind of have to wait for the muses to strike. And that's an indication, I would say, that creativity doesn't belong to us. It's not a tool that we can wield like a hammer to build what we want. It's something that we're immersed within, that has its own timing, and we can cultivate a relationship with it. One way of thinking of the relationship between creativity and imagination is to recognize that there are kind of like different levels of imagination. In philosophy, there's a distinction sometimes made between the reproductive imagination and the productive imagination. Or you could think of the creative imagination. A reproductive imagination is sort of what allows us, based on our experience of red stop signs and elephants in our reproductive imagination, to separate the redness from the stop sign and attach it to the elephant and imagine a red elephant, right? To use a silly, simple example. And so that's the kind of imagination that's not creative in the sense that it's more about rearranging aspects of things we've already experienced. Whereas the creative imagination is this deeper dimension where something totally new can come forth that we've never experienced before. It's arising out of the very ground of our own being and the very ground of the cosmos itself. And it's out of that creative imagination that not only novel works of art or scientific discoveries would come, but again, I think if we understand the universe itself as an expression of this creative imagination, then we can think of new species emerging out of this creativity. We can think of, at the scale of the whole universe, there was a time when the universe was all hydrogen atoms and a few helium atoms, 12 billion years ago, say. And at that point, stars were a figment of these hydrogen atoms' imaginations, if I can put it that way. And when stars emerged, that was something totally new in the history of the universe. Where did they come from? And so thinking in these terms of the cosmic power of creativity or creative imagination, I think has relevance and application far beyond just the ways in which human beings engage in them, but through our own imaginations, we can contact these cosmic dimensions.